This is a useless pile of waste, and it will remain a useless pile of waste unless something is done, like turning it into this, or any of these, or any of these. Seriously, it's possible.
Recycling or upscaling or reprocessing need to gain momentum if we are to solve the plastic flooding of our world. A study by Springer Link Journal reports that India ranks number 12 among the countries with mismanaged plastics, but by 2025 it will move up to the 5th position. Multi-sensor-based artificial intelligence and blockchain technology can become the future in the waste flow chain and management. Private entrepreneurs in India are beginning to gain a foothold in the plastic circular economy. One such entrepreneur is Rahul Potter, Managing Director of Shakti Plastic Industries, based in Mumbai, India. Here is Sunita Kaul-Juchi's interview with him.
Recycling plant. And we are the oldest and biggest recycling company in India, where we recycle all types of polymer waste, like polypropylene, polyethylene, ABS, HIPS, low grades, injection grades. So there are several grades in plastics, a lot of different forms of plastic waste, like flexibles, rigids, multi-layers. So my grandfather started this business in 1969. I'm the third generation. We started a small setup in Mumbai, gradually now expanded to pan India, and we have 5 factories across the country and 1 in Dubai. Also, we have one of the best collection mechanism in the country for plastic waste collection and recycling. We recycle almost all types of polymers under one roof. We have washing lines for post-consumer waste. We do handle industrial waste. We do a lot of cleaning, washing of cement bags, multi-layer plastic waste. We also have a patented technology to collect and recycle MLPs, multi-layer plastic waste, which is so-called non-recyclable materials because of the properties of the packaging material. So we have a patented technology where we recycle this waste into granules and then further into products. So this is about us. We recently collaborated, joint ventured with a company called Lyondell Basel, where Lyondell Basel is one of the world's biggest petrochemical company. So we joint ventured with them to set up world's biggest recycling plant in India by 2025 to recycle rigids as well as rigids plastic waste in HDP as well as polypropylene. So the plant will be one of the best mechanical recycling plant globally.
What is your collection method? Does the waste material have to be collected from various spots, or do you get them to come to your factory?
Yeah. So basically, waste collection is the biggest challenge in India for recyclers, and that's where we have an upper hand in the industry. So what we have done, we have established our collection point centers across the country in all 36 states and union territories, where we have focused on Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3 cities. We have collaborated with municipal corporations, unorganized sectors like scrap traders, kabadiwalas, NGOs, and many of the people who work on the ground level. So we have partnered with them. We have supported them by supplying them additional machines related to baling, related to shredding, segregation. We give them a know-how, support systems for and guide also how to segregate plastic waste, and then whatever is collected and segregated is being channelized to our facilities according to its geographic locations.
So it's a huge industry. How much do you think just your company would be contributing to the economy?
Basically, in this industry is growing now, and there's endless of opportunities. Every day there is something new in this industry where because of the policy, there are mandates to use recyclable materials by brand owners, and use recycled granules for their packaging applications and all. So industry is growing, and it will be difficult to bound this industry into numbers as of now, because there's so much of potential into this, where I think in next 10 years, people say that there is it's a decade of Indian industry, Indian business industry. But I would say that this decade is meant for recycling and meant for sustainability, and this is where the industries in this decade will grow like anything.
So do you, there has been this talk about doing away with certain kind of plastics. For instance, the single-layered plastic has gone out of circulation. Do you think there is more to follow in this? What kind of plastics do you think will go out of circulation?
Of course, single-use plastics being banned in India and all. Um it has impacted the industry to a very small extent. So there are a lot of different consumption of plastics. As you single-use plastic was a very small proportion of plastic consumption in India, like disposable items, straws, and other things. So there are endless use of plastic materials, and it will go on. It's increasing 15 to 20% every year, and I think this industry, the more it grows, the more plastic waste comes into the stream, and uh, has to get recycled. So industry will grow and industry will sustain. It's no matter, plastics, we cannot eliminate plastics out of our lives. It will be there, it's there, and it will always be there.
What is the one thing that is replacing plastics?
Basically, see, there are alternates coming in the market by saying that compostable plastics, biodegradable, PLAs, which are compostable, and PLAs. But again, we have to focus on some sustainable solutions. Now, any alternate material should be economically viable, should be easily available, should be compatible with its alternates. So industry is facing challenges for finding alternates of plastics. Of course, paper, wood, and other materials are there. But again, when you speak about uh, sustainable or economically viable, none of the products are economically viable compared to plastics, and durable also. Like for a food grade, for a chips wrapper, you need a shelf life of 6 months or maybe more than that. But in other alternates, you will not get a shelf life of more than 2 3 months, and that will again end up spoiling the quality of food and all. So it's
What do you do to replace this, to get the food to last longer, but get a wrapping that is going to take care of making it last longer?
See, basically, what we generally propose to government bodies and other brands, that rather than banning plastics, why not we focus on improving waste management systems infrastructure in India, in country, where instead of banning, you are producing any alternate materials, and that too you have to have a stream of collection. Again, if you're throwing a paper wrapper, you have to collect it someday, right? You cannot throw it in the landfills. It has a value if you collect. So similarly, if you're collecting plastic wrappers, then there is no nuisance. It will go in the recycling stream and it will be used somewhere. It will have a value. So better to rather than banning it, have a proper infrastructure of collection, waste management, recycling, and that's where we have to focus going forward.
What are some of the challenges? You mentioned challenges. What are some of the major challenges that you're facing?
Challenges is like plastics is now everywhere. When you go to a landfill, we see a lot of plastics lying there. And again, of course, because of its properties, it doesn't degrade for several years. So the challenge is it's all dominated by an informal sector today. If I specifically talk about Indian market or Indian culture of waste, it is dominated by all the unorganized informal sector, and there was no technology used in this segment before 2 years. So now the challenge is there is no technology availability, there is no know-how, there is no infrastructure available. Everything because of this new mandate, new awareness, people are investing a lot of money into the stream for segregation, for automations. And I think in next 5 7 years we will see the change. See, nothing is overnight. Challenges, we know there are a lot of challenges today, but we also know that things are evolving and very fast. So in next 2 3 years, by 2025, I can assure that there will be several such facilities where there will be sorters, there will be proper segregation systems involved with municipal corporations, with scrap traders and all, where plastic waste will be segregated in its proper manner, flexibles, rigids, PP, PE, and all, and it will be channelized to an authorized recyclers where it will be recycled and upcycled in a way where it can again be reused in packaging applications. So
Sorry, the question is, petrochemical companies, this was kind of a byproduct or a plastic is basically an unwanted product of the petrochemical industry or the oil industry. Do you see, but they earned a huge profit out of plastics, because it was a byproduct. So do you see any impact on those companies, or could you throw some light on that?
basically now, because of the mandate of recycled materials, all the petrochemical companies are facing challenges in terms of sustainable products, sustainable materials. And it's good to know that all the brands like Lyondell Basel collaborated with us. Now companies like IOCL, Reliance, Gale, and many other petrochemical companies are taking initiatives to set up some recycling plants or to have a proper collection mechanism systems, or to support recyclers by having a tie-up, by buying some materials, selling materials under their own brand. So a lot of developments are going on with petrochemical companies also, where some
But they
are doing.
but they continue to produce the plastics, right? Because they earn money out of plastics. So do they
Yeah,
continue?
they earn money, but see, the growth journey for petrochemical will not stop. They produce a lot of materials, and there are a lot of products where, again, like pharma products and all, where going forward, but prime materials will be consumed there. Recycled cannot be consumed in some of the products, in a lot of products, in short. So there will be a consumption for virgin materials also, but of course there is an impact by the policy. And I think because of this, all the petrochemical companies are taking initiative steps.
So, do you see any change in the way that food will be, sold, or has it had any impact on retail? Because they may want to have a lower or a shorter life cycle for their food products. Has it impact? What are the industries that have been impacted?
No, sir. Basically, it didn't change at all. As I told you, there are a lot of single-use plastic is plays a very important, very small role in the entire stream, and I think that's why it didn't impact it a lot to the industry. There were alternates available. They shifted to an alternate materials, alternate products, and all, and things are going well, fine everywhere. So, and of course, because of the ban of single-use plastics, now there is more awareness on disposal systems, disposal mechanism of plastic waste. So, going forward, now we see everywhere there are two dustbins in India, everywhere, all the households. People dispose plastic waste separately. Municipal corporations also handle plastic waste in a proper manner, and it is channelized. So we are seeing the change in the behavior of consumers, in the behavior of government bodies, and that's how we as a recycler are getting good materials also. For recycling, it's not that contaminated.
What do you do with the recycled material? You create products? Do you?
Yes.
What
So
are some
what
of the
we
products that you make?
Yeah, so we do a lot of things here. First, we collect plastic waste. We convert all the waste into granules. Then we also convert these granules into products like benches, tiles, flower pots, dustbins, tiles, and many more. And all the products are very high end. Initially there was a mindset where people used to think, okay, this is made from recycled materials. It's not the quality will be not as per the requirement. It will be of inferior quality. It will break in some time. There are a lot of questions, doubts in a consumer's mind. But things have changed now. People want to buy products out of waste. It's more durable, it's more sustainable, it's more long lasting also. We are also producing t-shirts out of PET bottles and many other products. So gradually over a period of time, the demand for these products are increasing because there is a consumer acceptance for these products now, and corporates being into this now. Many corporate companies, brand owners are also supporting this cause by using products in their day-to-day streams, offices with employees, and also many things are there, and things are going very good compared to what we expected.
Is there any pressure on the plastic industry from the international bodies? You know how you have these international bodies that are always putting pressure, especially on India, China, the huge polluters. How much do you think? What do you think is the next point of pressure on the Indian economy in terms of environment?
Basically, yes. When we talk about India and internationally, now all the companies globally are following their own different rules and regulations. So if a company like Shakti Plastics or any other company want to establish some setup in other countries, so all the companies have different norms for EPR. All the companies have different norm, plastic policy, plastic single-use plastics. So I think all the government should come together to form a standard policy where it gives an upper edge for an industrialist to work in other countries also, where we should know that there's a stable policy, standard policy, where we can come, invest, and work more efficiently and smoothly. Because recently I was in Kenya, and I was understanding about the system of plastic waste management. There is totally different. Again, EPR is there also. EPR is in India also, but the mechanism, the policy is very different.
What's the
So
difference? What's the difference in a nutshell? What do you think is the difference? We bet is Kenya more strict or is India more strict in terms of
no,
the
it's
policy?
not. It's not about more strict. There's a policy both the places, but the mechanism, how to the operational part, how to execute it on the ground level, how to work. Like in India, there's a mandate where we can work with scrap traders, we can work with municipal corporations everywhere. In Kenya, it was focused that okay, this we can work only with municipal corporations and not with scrap. So and there are a lot of other things also, small challenges. So the thing is that if the policy is same, if it's called EPR, extended producer responsibility, why not it should be standardized also? We can replicate a country's model there and we can implement it. It is much better, much simpler, and tried and tested. So when you talk about global things, I think they should all come on the same platform, standard platform, define the rules, and let people invest, come there and work together.
There's single plastic, but then there may be pressure to have other kind of plastics removed from the circulation. Do you think that's coming or that's not coming as?
Yes, there are mixed opinions on that. Basically, there are other plastics which are being promoted everywhere, like compostable PLAs, biodegradables, and all. But again, if you talk about recyclability, these materials are difficult to recycle, and it doesn't have a good recyclable value. So, as a recycler, I will always prefer, that we should not go in a compostable and PLA. Of course, it's not something I'm talking about, but on a recycling point of view, the better polymer it is, the better recyclability it will be. If you blend any other chemical additives to polymer, I think it will affect the recyclability of it and also affect the quality of the material. So rather introducing such polymers, we should more focus on the waste collection part, technology part, uh, where how we can produce better granules from the waste which is generated
What is the
by
most difficult plastic to
consumers on day-to-day
recycle?
basis.
My last question is, what do you foresee happening now, not just in the plastic product industry, but in the plastic recycling industry? What's your take on the future, on the near future?
See, plastic industry and recycling industry. So I can give a weightage that entire plastic industry is one side and entire recycling industry is on the other side, because whatever plastic is produced today, it will end up going into recycling stream, and recycling industry will produce materials which are sold at par or maybe premium than virgin materials. Yes. So, apart from that, there are certain products which, again, in some parts of the world, are being sold at more premium price. So,
For the cost of products, and so the plastic industry, you're not seeing eye to eye with the plastic industry. That's what I read in your answer, right?
yes,
But it's not easy to. What is the most difficult plastic to recycle? It takes a lot of technological innovation to do all sorts of
yeah.
plastics, right?
So there are MLPs, multi-layer plastic waste. Like we eat chocolate wrappers, biscuit wrappers, and all. So it has multiple polymer blended in it. There are 4 5 layers with metallized foils and all, and there are PP, PE, PA, PET, and all many other polymers blended together. There are films, and that's the material which is actually difficult to recycle, because all the materials have different properties. So we have to blend it together, and it's a challenge to recycle, and the quality of recycled material produced from that, again, it's little inferior quality, it's not at par. So I think that's the most difficult material to process. But again, there are alternates, there are again materials available, products available, where we can produce some products out of in fact that waste also. So I don't think there is any such challenge in terms of recyclability, but yes, it's difficult.
But is
But is technology keeping pace with your requirements, with plastic recycling requirements, or is it falling behind? The tech.
Yeah, technology is one step ahead. Like, yes, now there are the mandates for food grades. There are mandates for so there are technologies. There are companies like in Europe, like Erima, Starlinger, and many more, where they have technologies where which can produce food grade materials certified by government bodies. They have deodorizers. They have, so there are a lot of technologies already there in place as per the requirements, mandates. Yes, there are certifications body which can certify materials. Uh, so technology is there available. It's a little expensive. Of course, uh, it makes a viable business case. So it's good to invest in this.
anything I missed out on which you would like to include in the interview?
I think there are few things what is more important now, where government, people everywhere, people are focusing on recyclability, on waste collection, Now, after recycled materials, when we produce any products, there is no mandate for that products. So there should be a mandate by government bodies. There should be a system, a infrastructure where a retailer, a, a government body or a brand, there should be forced or there should be a mandate to use certain products which should be sustainable, which should be from plastic waste. If you're buying 100 pieces of any product, you should be liable to buy 30 pieces from recycled materials. So that will promote products out of waste, and that will end up, developing the business, developing the industry going forward. So
Really,
this is some.
thank you so much for your time. I'll let you know when it's on air. Thank you. Have a nice
Thanks,
day.
thanks, Sunita. Thanks a lot for
My
the and I'll be always there if you need any assistance on this.
pleasure. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.